Scott for Scots here. You ever want to grow new grass faster? Kinda like when you press the 2 times playback button on your podcast so you can speed through episodes. Except at Scott's Turf Builder Rapid Grass, you're speeding your way from a thin and damaged lawn to a thicker, stronger one in just weeks. Bit too fast, maybe slow it down, okay. Let's just go back to normal speed.
Get a bag of Scott's Turf Builder Rapid Grass today. It grows grass 2 times faster than seed alone when applied at the new lawn rate, subject to proper care.
Feed your lawn. Feed it.
As if the McCrispy couldn't get any better, Bacon and Ranch just entered the chat. The Bacon Ranch McCrispy, available at participating McDonald's for a limited time. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
The Purple Mafia, with your host, Paladino Joey.
Well, we'll see. The doctors would disagree, but what do they know?
So let's just say that you'll pay me because it's in your interest to pay me.
Is it worth it? I mean, you've won. Do you want to wipe everybody out?
I don't feel I have to wipe everybody out, Tom. Just my enemies. That's all. My father taught me many things. He taught me, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
These are wonderful things that we've achieved, and there's no limit to where we can go from here.
Welcome to the family here on Purple Mafia. It is Tuesday, January the 8th, 2013. I'm your host, Joey Wygen, or Paladino Joey. Thank you again, Dylan Richardson, who was so kind enough to introduce me at the beginning of that introduction there. And, this is episode number 133 of Purple Mafia. Thank you again for downloading and listening to this show, which is available on the sportstuff.com and on iTunes. So here we are. Well, the Vikings unable to be victors in the postseason for multiple reasons. Multiple reasons, and we're going to get to those very shortly. Just going to let you know that I will be joined later in this show by Dylan Richardson. That's right, the same guy you hear about a lot and is on this show on occasion. We are going to continue to preview the postseason from the second round on, but that'll be like in the second half of the show or so. First of all, we're going to get to a call-in from Malcolm McSween, and then we're also going to do the Facebook and Twitter interactions as much as I can. Thank all of you for getting involved on the Facebook page for Purple Mafia, which is on facebook.com/Purple Mafia Show, and then at Purple Mafia Show is the Twitter account. Like and or follow those respective accounts. Would appreciate it also very much. But yeah, it was an interesting first week of the playoffs, but not a happy first week for Viking fans at all. And we got kind of semi-shell-shocked a bit there on Sunday morning or Saturday afternoon or whatever it was because of an underreported story. According to Dan Burrow, and I happen to agree with him completely, it was underreported. Yeah, Saturday morning, Saturday or Friday afternoon. I forgot the game was on Saturday, right? It's like we're so used to Sundays. Yeah, it was on a Saturday. Duh. Saturday night. Very unusual, but it works, I guess. Great for ratings, of course, in a Viking-Packer game. But it was, Christian Ponder, unfortunately, having an elbow issue. He was hit very hard. In fact, there's a picture I posted on that Facebook page making his arm look a lot like, something you'd see at the grocery store for the most part, looking like leg of lamb or some pork loin or God knows what. Poor guy. I mean, he got nailed by a Green Bay Packer defender at some point late in the game. But, able to keep playing on it, playing with it. But, of course, something like that's going to tighten up severely after that particular game you were playing at the time. And, there we go. It's bad for a good week or 2 or 3 at times, an injury like that. Maybe probably just a week or 2. But unfortunately, it was the wrong week. It was the wrong week. And a guy that had been playing so well, to have that happen right when we need him in the playoffs, quite a shame indeed. Would it have given us the game? We may never know. A lot of people will say no. Some people will say yes. Whatever. Either way, we ended up losing, and fate was not on the Purple's side this year in general. And that is a shame, but again, hey, you'll hear from multiple people from 3 wins to 10 wins is an awesome climb indeed, and I agree. The progress of this football team is headed in the right direction, and we hope that we can continue to improve the wide receiver positions, and and hopefully Ponder can continue to get better. And we'll talk about the backup situation shortly. We're probably going to talk about it extensively over the course of the off season. So before I get way off track, we're going to get to the call-in by Malcolm McSween right now.
Hey, Joey, this is Malcolm. It sucks to lose to the Packers in the first round of the playoffs, but everybody knows that this season is a lot better than last season. Going 10-6 instead of 3-13. But I just want to get to the quarterback situation. Forget everything I said about Joe Webb. We both thought that we had a better chance to win with him. And it is a hard situation throwing him in the playoff game when he maybe took 3 snaps in the very beginning of the season. It's kind of putting a lot of pressure on him, but he was making a lot of stupid throws last night when he's getting sacked. But as long as we address the wide receiver issue maybe in the off season, I'm down to give Ponder another shot at it next year, and you got to think that that's what they're going to do. So hopefully he could get some good wide receivers and we could start throwing the ball, because we sure as hell didn't get 10-6 this season throwing the ball. It was all in the running game. So as long as we could have a little bit of a passing game next year and Christian doesn't make those mistakes that he did, in Lambeau, which would have put us at 11 wins for sure. And then the Packers would have to come into our house to beat us in the playoffs. So I'm excited for next year. It's looking good, Joey. Just need to get some receivers, maybe get Harvin back. If he comes back, who knows? But it's looking good. It's a good year. All right. Thank you. Later.
And I thank you for that call in, Malcolm. Very, very detailed, very nice call. There we go. Good stuff. And, summarizing a lot of the game and a lot of the Vikings, state of the Vikings, you could say, kind of, general outline of it. At this current point, losing to the Packers really does suck. It does. And Aaron Rodgers is arrogant as all get out. And so is the Packer fan base could drive just about anybody to insanity. Yeah, they really could. Brett Favre, I think, was kind of on the likable side at times, though he pissed me off many times in the distant past. But later on, when he started to become older, and it was like, this guy's a legend. So he didn't bug me as much. But Aaron Rodgers just bugs me. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's the look in his eye, something. He's an arrogant SOB. But that's the NFL for you. Some people might look at our guys the same way. Though you don't really hear too much of many people saying that about Adrian Peterson. Yeah, touching on the fact the Vikings are extremely one-dimensional, there's no doubt about that. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. It was pretty much run, and especially the way Adrian Peterson kept improving in that category. And even early, you could say, when Adrian wasn't even doing all that great, like around the San Francisco point of the season, he was doing okay. But it was mostly, actually, you could argue the defense that really carried the team really early. And then it got kind of, and then it kind of picked up, and then, rock and roll. We got into the playoffs because of that. And, of course, Adrian's ridiculous. He got 1,000 yards in 5 weeks practically. That was insane. So, very cool. And, of course, the Joe Webb angle, the main angle of this week at this point. Yeah, Joe Webb finally got to play again. And, he kind of got thrown to the wolves after, taking a couple snaps. Was it 3 snaps where he just pretty much handed the ball off to run the clock out in one of those blowout victories? I think it was Tennessee. But, didn't throw a single pass all year. Didn't look particularly good in the preseason, and really he's never looked particularly good throwing the ball. But he does look good running it at times. The coaches did not change the game plan to suit Joe Webb. That definitely didn't help either. Bill Musgrave definitely getting some heat about that in the local media. And very understandably so. It's like, what the hell, man? That's why I don't think anybody, I wouldn't recommend anybody hire Bill Musgrave to be your head coach, because at best he would be Brad Childress. Another Brad Childress type, in my humble opinion. So, Need more receivers, no doubt about that. That will hopefully be addressed. I got to think this team will continue to do that because last year it was like this team needs to improve their secondary, especially the safety position. And, well, you know, Harrison Smith, Josh Robinson, guys like that. Very cool. Unfortunately, it did kind of rear its ugly head later in the year. Certain cornerbacks like A.J. Jefferson, not so good. Chris Cook, not that good. Josh Robinson kind of in and out. Sometimes he's great, sometimes he's not. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun talking about the offseason. We're not quite at that point just yet, but as we get deeper and deeper into the, you know, as we get further into February and such, then the offseason talk is going to explode, and that's going to be a lot of fun like it is every year. And we're going to talk about that right here on Purple Mafia, and Malcolm and others continue to call in and talk about that, you know. Talk about whatever receiver, whatever linebacker, whatever it is. Hey, whatever veteran backup quarterback, which I do believe this franchise needs, a veteran backup quarterback. And, of course, that's no solution of any kind for any type of, you know, obviously, yeah, we just need a veteran backup quarterback to help out Christian Ponder, not to come in and play 6-7 games a year or to try to, force him into hoping he can keep his starting job. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about a veteran backup quarterback that can help Christian Ponder, a Matt Hasselbeck type that can at least help. You know, and then if MBT's, you know, like a guy like Sebastian Balls who loves MBT and a lot of other people too, McLeod Bessel-Thompson, if he blows up, he blows up. Yeah, we're not talking about the Matt Hasselbecks keeping MBT out of a chance to pull off some type of miracle. But yeah, ultimately, I do believe Christian Ponder will be the guy next year. Better for better or worse, and hopefully better. Yeah, right? So let's quickly move into the Facebook page and Twitter accounts. We'll start with the Facebook page as per usual. Yeah, there was a little bit of a kerfuffle trying to get this show up last week a bit with Hipcast, which is the site we use to get onto iTunes. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, the devices called the transcoders were down, and that's the device that actually officially moves the file to iTunes from Hipcast. And there was a problem with that, so it took an extra day or so to get the show up, even though the show had been recorded. So, yeah, but a few guys got excited about the show finally coming up. Todd Vandermeer saying, good, ready to listen. Todd saying, no problem, work till Monday, I got time. So thank you for that, Todd, who, big fan of, big Viking fan, obviously, big fan of the show. Thank you so much for being loyal and for enjoying this. I was talking about, there was an issue with identical files up at times, and that got kind of funny. Robin Sullivan was kind of teasing me a little bit for getting a little bit too hyper, but early on she was excited about, hey, I can't wait, we'll listen, thanks for the heads up. And she tells me to breathe, I need to calm down a little bit, because I was getting a little bit nervous that there were too many files up, and it's because I don't want to look like a fool when there's all these newcomers, you know, over the past 2 or 3 weeks or so, jumping onto the show now, like Robin, like others, like Matthew Kyle, you know, guys like that. So many people hopping on board, and I appreciate all you. Yeah, I just didn't want to look like a fool having like four identical files on iTunes, but so I was a little bit nervous about that. So, yeah, that's kind of what was going on. Mark Carlson was all excited as well, saying no identical files. So, yeah, he was all happy about the show being up, and thank you again, Mark. You know, I really appreciate a lot of the newcomers over the course of the year, and the brand newcomers as well the past 2 weeks. But yeah, guys like Malcolm, Mark Carlson have come out of the woodwork this year. You know, you guys are awesome. Todd, of course. Lots of new faces on this show now. And there were some new faces over the course of the year, like the Marks and Malcolms and Todds. But now, boom, there's even more. It's pretty cool. We appreciate it. And there was a little thread also. Got to read a couple of what you were saying. Mark Carlson, had a little issue come up, unfortunately. I don't know. I'm not sure if he wants me to mention it, but I might as well, because he did post it on there. He said, he was going to listen, but then didn't get to listen to it after all at the time. He said he got a message that a close friend of his passed away this morning. Very sad, just shocked. Trying to listen tonight. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, so feel for you there, Mark. I do. That can't be fun. Somebody, a very close relative to my brother, and my brother's wife, we'll say, is definitely in a very serious situation right now with a heart attack. So hopefully that continues to. That's her stepdad, by the way. So shout out to Bob. Bob Doncaster, hoping him the best there as well. So a lot going on out there. But yeah, Mark Carlson, yeah, man, I feel for you, and I'll give them a moment of silence. So yeah, sorry for your loss there, Mark. He says, yeah, he must say it's fun to listen to the show at home. Usually listen at work. Thank you for that. Very cool. He loves watching a Viking team that's actually winning games, be it kicking field goals or defense. By luck or not, the team is winning. That you picked the Vikings to win. Yeah, I wish they did. He was saying how it's, he's going to cheer extra loud. Maybe Tom Bannermay will hear me. If we win, Dave Hickey will get to have a tattoo on the other arm. Matthew Kyle jumping in, also saying, great show. Listen today while I was at work. I might have to call in for the next one. Keep it up, guys. So thank you for that, Matthew. Yeah, don't be afraid to call in sometime. Apparently didn't make it this time around, but understandable. So thank you for that, guys. Now we'll kind of keep moving along here, because this is when things started to get a bit interesting. They sure did. They sure got interesting indeed. It's like, this is a really strange situation. We had Ponder all year, and now Webb's in, and there's nothing we can do about it. Webb is in, like it or not, and generated a lot of conversation on it there as well. Nathan Wilson, so welcome to the page there, Nate. He says, should be good because the Fudge Packers have been studying Ponder. Now they don't have time to study Webb. Yeah, oh boy, yeah. If only the coaches pushed that a little harder, unfortunately. Oh, boy. Yep, Todd was asking were they scared to pass, and yes, we were, weren't we? Yeah. Janet saying that the Vikings got this. Yep, she was hoping for the best there at the time. It looks, see, because that first drive was that good. It looked like we're going to be really good, and then, no. Patty saying, I say really bad, so either good or really bad, yep. James saying that he needs to be more patient, being Joe Webb. Janine Dykes also jumping in, saying, as we all are, patience, grasshopper, patience. Yep. Mike Tapana, yep, thank you again. Tapanilla, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right there, Mike. He said, I would be worried because Webb really sucks. Yeah. Todd saying it was really bad. That was later in the game, after the game. Mark Carlson commenting about Mr. Webb, saying, I like his athleticism and he has an arm, but he's about as accurate as a North Korean missile. Woo, yeah. Missed by about a continent there, didn't it? Yeah, some of his throws really, they like to hit the ground, actually. Joe Groundball Webb. There you go. Hey, you like that, Mark? David Longfield jumping in, saying, and welcome to the page again to you as well, saying you got that right. Looks like a scared rabbit. Yeah. Oh, Joe Webb. My Lord. Should sell him on eBay for about $1. Okay, sorry. The official game thread, we're going to try to get to that a little bit. Boy, this is going to be a very busy Facebook page. Probably going to be a long show because it's going to be trying to get to what I can, I'm not going to get to everything. Going to have a time that's down here and there because can't talk about all the in-game stuff as much because that will wear people out. The in-game comments, that is. I'm going to talk about the game in general, yes. But, yeah. And we're going to obviously have Dylan Richardson on in a little bit here to help preview the postseason and talk more about the Viking Packer situation and some Chicago Bears, I'm sure, because he is a Bears fan, even though he's from Northern California. He's in San Francisco 49er country, kind of. But, yeah, he hates them. So, yeah, onto the game thread. I was trying to make things slightly more organized a bit there. Especially when, in-game stuff will be looking a bit. Charles Amy Erickson saying, I've been waiting 2.5 years for Webb to play. Ooh. John Seaton, also another newcomer, saying, hell yeah. Oh, they were all excited to see him, but unfortunately it just didn't happen that way. Lots of in-game stuff in there, so if you want to see some of that, you're more than welcome to get in there. A lot of us kind of jumped in and out. A little bit of a interesting back and forth from a few of the guys as well on there. Oh, boy. Yeah, it was very interesting. It was a interesting night, and people getting very frustrated with the team, and maybe a few minor disagreements here and there, which is understandable. It's going to happen. Todd saying that we got the second string quarterback in. He's not really a quarterback. The defense plays better than the Bears. You don't see the Bears in the playoffs, do you? No, I don't think so. Just look how the Bears played when Color was out. That didn't go well for them. Yeah? So there was a little bit of a kerfuffle where Joe and Todd, I guess, were talking about how the Bears beat the Joe Volpe saying the Bears beat the Vikings, so what's your point? They have packed, let you win. If they didn't, then what is going on now? You still have some guys on defense, right? Did they forget how to play? And yeah, the secondary was not good. And the linebackers were not good either. Yeah. It just, the defense, I'm surprised we kept the Packers at 24 because it felt like we were going to give up like 1,000. And this is probably an overrated stat, but yeah, the Packers did not score in the second half. At first you think like, wow, that is unbelievable. But in a lot of ways it was overrated because the Packers, a lot of people believe, took the foot off the pedal because it's like, well, this team isn't going to score at all. So what do we need to kill ourselves for when we got round 2 coming up? That may have been what it was at the time. I have no idea, though. I mean, the defense did do well at the same time. I'll give them credit. But I do think the Packers did get a little bit more constipated in the second half because they figure just run the ball and burn the clock as much as we can. Yeah. Mark Carlson hopping in saying he did not see this post till now. Facebook has gotten confusing. I agree, Mark. That should pretty much be a gold star right there. Just about. Janine, yeah, this is a good one right here. Janine saying Webb is gone after tonight. He could have saved his own neck and been a hero, but instead he forgot his spidey senses, and now he has a 0. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to give the gold star to Janine. Yes, that is your first gold star there, I think. Yep, so congratulations. Here it is, gold star, Janine Dites. There you go, gold star time. Gotta love it, right? Yep. It was what it was, huh? With Mr. Webb, he was pretty awful. I think. A lot of us. Oh, and that was the other comment that Malcolm made up earlier too, or not made up. A comment that Malcolm mentioned earlier. Pardon me for that, Malcolm. Yeah, like a lot of us were kind of like, just give Webb a chance. If Ponder's sucking it up super bad, just put Webb in maybe to finish the game, And Sebastian kind of jumped on us about that. No, Webb should never play. And Sebastian's looking right now, isn't he? Yes, he is. But it's like at the time we were thinking that Ponder should never play either because he was so bad at times. And then he did eventually get better because he got married and that distraction was gone. Yeah. Funny how little coincidence in the timing with that. But yeah, gold star for Janine. Malcolm saying, I don't see why the Packers would score 34 points last week if they were trying to lose. That's just a stupid statement. I'm not sure who he's responding to there. It might be that Joe there. Not sure. Somebody said it in there, I'm sure. I don't know what happened there. Weird. But, yep, I believe you there. Probably was a Joe guy. He was kind of jumping in on people a little bit. But, it's going to happen. People aren't going to all agree on everything. In fact, some of the people that may have followed this page, the Facebook page, might be Packer fans, and they followed it just to kind of hop in and have some disagreements at times. But hey, that's the name of the game, ladies and gentlemen. When you want to be in the media, that's the name of the game. All right, Mark Carlson saying it's hard to go in to any game and pull out a W without your best assets on the field. I guess I will leave it at that. Yep, had lots of time to think it over. And that is all I can say. Saw Washington go down tonight while changing the oil in my car. There you go. He scrapped my knuckles wrenching on my car, but was totally happy. The Seahawks put them away. Yeah, I agree. I hate the Redskins. But yeah, he's looking forward to the next show. Joey, good luck on condensing all this down. That's a silver star there, Mark, for that. That's a silver star. Yep. That's good luck condensing it all down. Yeah. And, if people are thinking it's too long, I'm sorry. This is hard to... It's hard to condense it down at times, but... Because, it's just one of those things. It's, this is a playoff week, and there's a lot of new people on now, and I want to give them some airtime. but also the extremely loyal, like Mark Carlson. I want to give them some airtime as well, of course, no doubt about it. Yeah, so there was another thread that I threw up there that a lot of people wanted to comment on. Yeah, the first half, before a nice, cute little completion to Adrian Peterson, which was maybe for 8 yards, I think, at the time, right before the last tick of the half. It was like the last play of the half. The passing offense. Are you ready for a beautiful number here? -2. It's good times. Yep, -2. Yeah, that's good times. Yeah, good job. Yep, that's... Okay, you get the idea. Yeah, it sucked. Big time. That was terrible. Todd Vandermeer saying they all look pathetic. Kathy Valpoo saying WTF. Gary Kenny, a lot of new ones right here, saying after another disappointing year on the way, I'm afraid. Disappointing year, or you mean, well, they did pretty good, considering they were 3-13 last year, but another disappointing finish, maybe. That might be what he meant, but, well, yeah. Or maybe he thinks next year's going to be disappointing. I hope not. And here we go. Yeah, this is exactly Dan Nadal. Yeah, here we go. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Nadal. He says, Webb is short-hopping the wide receivers like McNabb did. Hard to watch. Yeah, that absolutely sums it all up right there in a very brief thing. So, yeah, that's Bronze Star. There we go. He's the first Bronze Star winner ever. That is big time, man. That sums up the whole game right there. Sebastian Ball's saying, take out Webb. MBT made the team for a reason. Nothing to lose now. Yeah. At that point, shoot, why didn't they? That is a good point, Sebastian. Some people might think, what is that crazy? Yeah, that's crazy talk. No, Webb was that bad. Webb was bad enough that, what if MBT did do something? He probably would complete a pass or two. He probably would, because Webb was not completing the S. He wasn't completing anything. Yeah, I'll leave the S word out of it. Lori, also another new one there, saying, I'm still hoping they will reactivate Ponder at the half, and he will come out and bring us back from the brink. That would have been interesting, huh? Rising from the dead, Christian Ponder. No, not from the dead, but from the inactive list. Yeah. Janet saying also, I am hoping the ref will show up. A ref will show up. Yeah. And by the way, for the record, it was the same crew, ladies and gentlemen, the same main referee and same crew. I'm sure usually it's the same crew that reffed the game for the Vikings in 2010 in Lambeau Field. Remember that infamous game where everybody was irate? A lot of calls did not go the Vikings' way in that game. When Brett Favre and Brad Childress had their little thing after the game, or at least Brad Childress did, he threw Favre under the bus. That was step one to Childress' firing. Ultimately, I got to think. Yeah. Total bull, huh? Yep. So there you go. We're going to keep dancing around here a bit. There's a photograph of Christian Ponder's shoulder injury that I posted on the Facebook page. It's ultimately from the Star Tribune. Also got it from a Viking fan page, so I'm going to give them a little credit there as well. They may or may not be listening. They do know about the show, though. They've mentioned it before on Twitter and such. So Viking fan page, in case you are listening, shout out to you. That's on Facebook. Yep. I'm giving you credit for it. There were some comments on it. Yeah, like I said, it looks like something out of the grocery store. Pork loin or leg of lamb. That's kind of what it looks like to me. Robin Sullivan saying, ouch, looks like a cat fight to me. Manny Sanaka saying, who the happened? Vince Germano. Yes, Vince Germano, who is one of the elite posters on the Timberwolves Explosion Facebook page. One of my closest friends and a podcaster as well. Talks a lot. Great basketball podcast called the Courtside Podcast out of Australia. He's a Laker fan, as you can tell by his image there. It's of Kurt Rambis when he was a Laker long ago. He's saying, wow, that looks painful. Poor bugger. Ryan Anderson saying, need to tell his wife to only do that to him in the off-season. Ooh. Wow, that's a good one. Oh, man. Oh, gotta like that. So we'll get to the the other general post that started threads over the course of time, because a few guys making some statements along the way here. Man, there is a lot as usual. Yeah, there sure is. Christian Ponder saying, like it or not, he is a quarterback. Webb is not. He puts a picture of Christian Ponder, a big profile picture. I agree. It's Brett Favre, Sebastian Ball's saying that prediction, Green Bay 42, Minnesota 10. Well, you got the 10 right. The 42 and 24 mixed up a little bit, but no problem there. We still lost. That's all that matters in the end, unfortunately, in a sense. It's Tony Coleman saying, ouch, do not like. Sebastian saying realistic. Tony jumping in saying that's a pessimistic spread. Can't agree with it. Trey saying realistic. I'll throw money down that the Pack does not score more than 30 points in the game. Well, Trey, you won. You won in that comment right there. That's a good one. Sebastian Ball saying they are killing us with the screen and we can't get in the end zone. That's for sure. They were murdering us with the screen. So yeah, you were right about the Vikings story, Sebastian, but I'm actually in a lot of ways surprised the Packers did not get 40 or 35 or something, but they didn't. Todd saying, well, Sebastian, you may be right. It's starting to get ugly. Yep, and it was. Let's see. Sebastian also early on was saying, looking like it's Webb. He wants to see Bethel Thompson. Yeah, he was about that. Mark Carlson's pregame statement, his pregame thread was, this game is going to be very interesting with Webb starting. Watching at home tonight with my family. Been extra busy at work. Feels good to be at home. Fireplace on. Pizza Shack game on. Let's go Vikings. Yes, sir. Gotta love what he had to say there. So, sorry for kind of going a little bit back in time a bit, but that's how it goes because that's the Facebook page. It's not going to be all completely in order all the time. Man, oh man. Yep, Mark Carlson saying, okay, Joey, I know why you said weeks ago Webb was not the answer. Maybe back at nope in halftime now. Terrible. Yep, it was bad. It really was. Sebastian saying that Webb's fans can shut the bleep up now. Brent Jacobson saying, memo to Rick Spielman, tonight's game is why you have a real backup quarterback on your roster, not a glorified running back like Joe Webb or Tim Tebow. Yep. Tony Coleman. So we're going to wrap up the Facebook page now. It's just so much. I just wanted to get these out, I just won't. He's saying a team that was predicted by some to go 3-13 went 10-6 and made the playoffs. That team exceeded expectations and made their fans proud. I am viewing the season positively. I won't listen to the negativity being slung around by some Viking fans. This season ended far better than it could have. I walk away pleased. Yeah, I second that, Tony. I do. 10-6, they made the playoffs. Wow. They're a year ahead of what they did last time they were recovering from horrible football back in the day. When they went from that horrible 2006 season, it took, the 2007. This seemed like the 2007 type of year, Sebastian. Not comparing it to the year, but similar in a way. It looked like it was going to be the type of year where the Vikings might tease us and head towards the playoffs and not make it. But, yeah, it ended up being more like 2008 in a way, record-wise. Yeah, yep. But unfortunately, they finished in the postseason the same way, right away. One-sided loss, unfortunately. Dan Taylor saying his statement, which is always good stuff. He says, well, that was the worst game I've ever seen the Vikings play. Whew. I never want to hear anybody say, put Webb in again. He played his way out of the league today. I've never wanted to see Ponder so much in my life. If you look at how we shut down the Pack in the second half, you can't tell me that we wouldn't have had a chance if Ponder could play. Still, I think with a good draft and some more health, we can absolutely push for the division title. The future is bright, so let's just ignore this game and look at the draft. Yep. Well said. Yep, that is good stuff. Sebastian also saying, as I'm a Viking fan, and I'm kind of happy. I'm kind of happy also because now we can actually go out and get receivers and corners so we can improve. No one had us winning more than 3 games this year, and we won 10. And made the playoffs. Not bad being a nobody team for being a nobody team. Ooh! After being a negative Nancy all year, according to Malcolm McSween. Whoa! Malcolm McSween jumps in and says that. Matt Emer saying, looking forward to your end season review, sir. It's been a hell of a ride. Now we have a long, boring off season. Yep. And the final quote here also from Matt Emer. Final quote for the Facebook page says, well, I guess we have the draft to look forward to. Top 3 needs are wide receiver, defensive tackle, yep, and linebacker in that order. But due to the lack of great wide receiver in the draft, I think we go defensive tackle first. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how things go, and good thoughts about the lack of wide receivers. The good news is, though, usually drafts, usually you can find a decent receiver, but then again, who am I fooling, right? Who am I fooling? There are people that saw, Jerome Simpson being something when he was drafted years ago, and he's not done much. So it is kind of hit and miss with wide receivers. You might get somebody who's really good in the 4th round, and you might bomb out in the 1st round. It's just, it's frustrating, but wide receivers are easier to find in the middle of the draft than other positions, I got to think. Like a mid-draft defensive tackle is usually, kind of an average player. So you do hope to get somebody fairly high-end, but then again, those can bust out too. I mean, it's tough. And good thing Rick Spielman hit on a lot of good draft picks last April. We hope he can do it again. Do it again, baby. Do it again. So we'll move to the Twitter briefly here. Not as much action on that one. The Facebook page is just berserk. Jake Severson saying, did you see the NFL announce the Vikings' opponents next year? Damn, they got a tough schedule. NFC East, AFC North. Yeah, it was, it's going to be an interesting go with the schedule. Oh, man, I'm trying to remember who it was now exactly. It's, yeah, it's going to be a little tougher, but that's expected. So, yeah, the AFC North, we got the Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, and Browns. Yeah, finally playing Cincinnati again. It's been a little while. Browns, we hope that's a win. The Ravens is, we beat them in the Dome a few years ago in 2009. Pittsburgh Steelers, we played that division in 2009. So hopefully that's a harbinger for what's to come. Because, last time we played that division, we were really damn good. The only team we lost to in that division was the Pittsburgh Steelers, unfortunately. I hate the Steelers. God. And that was in Pittsburgh. So we'll see how things go with that. Dallas jumping in. Dallas Deitzenbach saying, that's what people said about our second half of the season, and look at us. Yep, 4-0. Good stuff. That is very true. Melissa saying that she'll be there. She'll be there in New York cheering on the Vikings. Yeah, because I believe we're playing the Giants again next year. Yeah, ain't it the truth? Jake Severson saying, I'll be in Wisconsin doing the same. Yep. Justin in Rochester, that being Justin Day. We're talking about Kevin Love a bit there in the basketball. I don't know why you didn't follow the Wolves Explosion Twitter, because we were actually talking a little bit about that show there. So I'll leave that for that show. Dan Zinski saying, thanks, I'll have to check out your show. And that's a website, Viking Age. Yep, Viking Age Dan. So, yeah, hopefully you're listening. That's a shout-out to you there. It is a really nice website. There ain't no doubt about it. It is thevikingage.com. Beautiful website. Yeah, by the way, just throwing that out there. Anthony, the son of Mark Carlson, jumping in, saying history will be made today. Pointing towards Joe Webb and such, Matt Khalil, but unfortunately, yeah. Dan Taylor saying ready for a massacre. I'm guessing he was thinking we weren't going to win. Jared saying, I'm ready for a magical Webfield victory. Oh, I wish. Sebastian saying they're blowing it. Yeah. Dan Taylor again saying, I never ever want to hear bench Ponder for Webb again. This is awful. It seems that none of us knew how valuable Ponder is. This is officially the worst Viking game I've ever watched. Offensively, I completely agree with you, Dan. There's no doubt about it. Defensively, they were okay. Anthony posting a photo, and it says this. There it is. When I die, I want the Minnesota Vikings to be my pallbearer so they can let me down for the last time. Woo-wee, that is intense. Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people feel your pain there, Anthony. I'm one of them. They have let us down a lot of times over the last many years. But, somebody somebody is not going to be let down in the next couple of weeks. Somebody's depression is going to end because nobody's repeating this year. It won't be the Giants. And hopefully hope it's not the Packers who won just 2 years ago. Unfortunately. Will it be the Ravens? Because Ray Lewis amazingly made a return despite a torn bicep, missed 9 games, thought it was all over, never going to come back again. Ravens are going to lose in the first round to the Colts. Wrong. Nope, they did not. Man, oh man. Seattle looks strong. San Francisco has been strong all year, Atlanta's chokers. Yeah, but will they pull it off? Will Houston Texans pull it off? Is this truly Denver's year? Or will the New England Patriots be the first team to lose the Super Bowl and come back and win it? Yeah, they look pretty damn good as well. We're going to talk about all of that, all of the above, with the man from Northern California, Dylan Richardson, right after this.
Let's win this game. Skol Vikings, honor your name. Go get that first down, then get a touchdown. Rock 'em, sock 'em, fight, 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 fight. Go Vikings, run up the score. You'll hear us yell for more. V-I-K-I-N-G-S. Skol Vikings, let's go. Skol Vikings, let's win this game. Skol Vikings, honor your name. Go get that first down, then get a touchdown. Rock 'em, sock 'em, fight, 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 fight. Go Vikings, run up the score. You'll hear us yell for more. V-I-K-I-N-G-S. Skol Vikings, let's go.
And we are back here on Purple Mafia, episode number 133, which is always a reminder for all of you out there that listen to iPods and Android phones and such. Those of you out there that don't have an iPod or don't want to buy one but that happen to have an Android device, well, you can always get Double Twist because it's basically the exact same thing as iTunes. It's just on Android, and there you go. So that's another way to listen to the show. But as mentioned, going into the break, I am now joined with Dylan Richardson.
Yes!
Yes! Marv Elbert is in the house. Yep.
Joey, how's it been? Man, it's been a long time since we spoke.
Yeah.
A lot of things have happened. Mm-hmm. If you remember our little preseason prediction, my two teams are still in the running. Mm-hmm. And boy, did I take it in the pants for, the whole... you never know who the surprise team is going to be, Joey, and I kept on trying to keep things positive because you remember you were thinking that the Vikings weren't going to have that great of a season, and lo and behold, they made the playoffs.
They made it. Yep. I was thinking, what was I saying? 6-10, right? 6-10, 7-9.
Yeah, maybe you were just dyslexic on your pick for the Vikings this year. It's a 10-6 record. Adrian Peterson comes back with a vengeance. I mean, he should win MVP and comeback player of the year because that was no joke of an injury that he suffered from last year.
Yeah, unbelievable. You think of the ACL and MCL, and it's crazy. It's like he worked so hard on recovering from that injury. I think I may have said this in a previous show, but it seems like he worked so hard on it that he improved, which is insane. I've never seen that happen before after an ACL. I mean, we know what happened to Terrell Davis so well.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, he had some concussion problems, too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's funny, you watch the old NFL. Here we go, getting sidetracked. First 5 minutes.
I had to mention.
You had to mention it.
Yep.
Like, you watch the old NFL films in the Super Bowl where he's talking about how he can't see, and Shanahan puts him back in. He's like, it's going to be a play fake. You're not going to get the ball, but they ain't going to believe it unless you're in. And his bell is rung, and he's like, I can't see. you can't do that crap anymore. That's for sure. But anyways, we're getting sidetracked. Let's steer it right back towards the Vikings. What a fantastic little finish there.
Yeah, it was. Mm-hmm.
So, did you want to talk about the Vikings game first?
We could, or we could save it for last.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's a little teaser.
Yep. It's a wonderful teaser in some ways.
So, which fantastic game would you like to start with?
Well, we got Cincy and Houston. Yep, Cincinnati trying to win their first playoff game since they went to the Super Bowl. And, yeah, there you go, old NFL films, 1988 again. But, yeah, no Houston Oilers involved. And but Houston Texans had the best record in the pretty much forever. And at the last second, Minnesota's surge there late in the season helped drop them down from the number 1 seed to number 3. They faced Cincinnati. I was hoping Cincinnati would win, but it's like, they're never going to win a playoff game again, and they didn't.
You know, that's was a struggling organization.
Yeah.
And what's his name, quarterback boy, kind of came out of the blue.
Mr. Dalton,
yeah, Red. Call him Red. He takes off his helmet, and his hair color matches the team color, but it's like camouflage. But you know, I was happy to see my team that I picked to go to the Super Bowl, not win, but go to the Super Bowl, is still alive. So I'm hanging on to some validity in my little preseason pick there. But you know, it seemed like the Texans, they were struggling coming out of the season, and that's always a bad sign. You know, you want to get hot right before the playoffs.
Yeah.
But they were just too big and too bad. You know, that defense is pretty darn good, and it's going to match up pretty good for next week's matchup.
Yeah, they sure got to Andy Dalton in a lot of ways. I mean, he was only sacked twice, but the completion percentage, I mean, Andy Dalton struggled big time in this game. Threw one interception only, but a quarterback rating 44.7. His passer percentage about the same in the mid-40s. So it was a definite struggle. Houston Texans defense came to life. Heck of a lot better against Cincinnati than it was against the Vikings, to be honest. Ponder looked okay in that game, but Dalton, hit the wall there. Andy Dalton, unfortunately for Cincinnati, they just should make the playoffs and they're out. That's the story.
One and done.
They're very good at that. Yeah, I mean, Houston, well, I don't have much faith in them going into the next round, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Yep. I guess both of my picks are still alive, believe it or not, because a guy by the name of Ray Lewis, who I thought was done for the year, rises from the football dead, you could say, and he plays against Indianapolis. Unbelievable.
Yeah, did you see the robo arm that he's got?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I thought he was trying to be Darth Vader or something. I don't know what it is.
I thought he was the black reincarnation of Steve Austin. I kept on waiting for when he make a tackle, it'd go.
He should. Oh man,
he's more than a $6 million man. Well, I wonder how much he makes per year. Maybe he is a $6 million man.
Oh yeah,
per year.
I would think so. Ray Lewis, yeah. I mean, he even said this is it. Like he's going to retire, but then, well, it's not over yet. Baltimore living on in the Baltimore Bowl, of course. Baltimore Colts versus Baltimore Ravens, or Indianapolis Colts, you could officially call them. I picked the Colts to win this game, which is yeah.
I kind of thought they would too.
Yeah.
I kind of thought the Colts would, just because they playing away is always hard, but I don't know. Andrew Luck, I thought he was going to, do a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
But, a great defense stands up, and, there you go.
Yeah, and
They decided to play some offense, too.
Mm-hmm. And winning in Baltimore in the postseason, not the easiest thing you can do. And they've actually had a pretty good road record in the postseason as well over the last several years since the Joe Flacco era began. Boy, it's but kind of jumping around, I guess, from game to game here in the AFC. Just 2 games anyway. So, Houston's defense really was the difference in that game. Of course, just like the Baltimore game, so you can kind of merge them together. Rookie quarterbacks, or second-year deal in Andy's case, but Dalton anyway. Andrew Luck, another Andrew. Struggle. Yeah, they look good early. They looked okay early, but then it was just, that's it. It was kind of like the Vikings in a way this weekend. Like, I don't know what to think of this game. No, this is the Baltimore Colts, or excuse me, Indianapolis Colts. Yep. You knew it was coming.
Yeah, exactly. The funny thing was, too, is that when Baltimore got a team back, the Ravens, they actually pursued getting the Colts' name back. They offered quite a bit of money to get that name back, and obviously, as you can see now, it was denied. But, that's how it goes.
And I like the Ravens name and the colors and the design. I really like that shield image they have, like their secondary logo. But just the Baltimore Colts, it rolls right off your tongue. It really does.
Yeah, it's just, Johnny U, all them. Oh, here we go. Sidetrack.
Yeah, just legend,
I mean, but still, right now, we're talking about the AFC. And with, the Super Bowl and everything, does it really matter? Because I'm pretty sure an NFC team's going to win.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, and it's funny how other people I talk to right now, they're saying they're pretty sure an AFC team's going to win. So it's it's an interesting debate that's kind of coming up here. I'm I'm leaning AFC, but the NFC definitely has a legit. All of them have a legit chance to win the whole thing. Honestly, even the Seattle team that we're going to talk to very soon. Talk about surprise team this year.
Yeah. Well.
Holy Toledo. But yeah, the Ravens. Well, and again, speaking of Super Bowl teams this year, my team that I picked to win the AFC was Baltimore, and not only win the AFC but win the entire thing. But then when I saw the injuries take place, and especially to the all-time franchise player, basically for that team, thinking that was it for him and the team this year. But well, they're still there, and now they go on the road to into Denver. Denver. That's going to be an interesting matchup as well. Coming up.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. And Denver's had a really good year, but you gotta think too. They play the Raiders twice. They don't come from the greatest division.
No.
So it's kind of like scrimmages for half the season, and then you got some real games. But Peyton Manning is going to put that offense in a scoring position.
And yeah, that's a good point too. When you said how it's the division, they pretty much had that thing wrapped up in October. I don't think it's been much easier, to be honest. Since you have it's a division with teams like Kansas City. That's a complete joke. Sorry, Farzine.
Yeah. Well, he's in the same boat, chucking rocks just like you are right now.
Yeah.
But.
Yep, and then they got Andy Reid coming back. That's another news thing we can briefly mention, but, NFL related, current NFL, that is. So that's the first major hire we could say after.
So how long do you think he's going to last there? If he can't turn it around,
3 to 4.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. The first year or two is not going to be pretty, I don't think. They do have talent to build around, but they also got a lot of problems, and it even goes way back to oh crap, 2 coaches ago, when they were on Hard Knocks, and they were talking about in the draft they're going to have to fill 7 starting positions.
That's
from the
embarrassing.
draft.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
It's like, whoa.
Are you thinking Herm Edwards, or is it the...
Yeah, Herm Edwards.
Not Todd Haley.
2 coaches. 2 coaches ago or 3? I don't know.
He was 2, yep.
The Chiefs are turning into the new Raiders for firing coaches. Yeah, in fact, I thought that the Raiders had fired another coach. It just happened to be a staffer, but I was like talking about how, the Raiders, end of the season, they fired their coach again. I didn't even know the name of the head coach for the Raiders. Yeah, this season. It was so nothing.
Yeah, I didn't even either, because I didn't really pay attention to the Raiders. They weren't on the schedule, and they're such a non-factor right now. If they started picking it up, it'd be nice, but just for the NFL's sake, they'd probably like it, I'm sure, for history and all that. But now I guess, gosh, 2 coaches ago was Todd Haley. I forgot.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. No, there's Cornell, Haley, and then Herm. So I think it is Herm now that I get it together. Yep. Yeah. Good old.
Well, another one bites the dust in Kansas City.
Yep. Exactly.
Andy Reid, maybe he can turn it around. He somewhat did with the Eagles, but he handpicked his first round draft pick to build his team around Donovan McNabb.
Yep.
And that worked out well. Can lightning strike twice? I don't know. He's got a great track record. His playoff appearances are quite a few, real abundant. And what was it, 4 years in a row where he made it to the NFC Championship game before they finally went in?
Yeah, yep. It was. The 4th year was the one they went in, I believe. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. Boy, it's going to be interesting to see how that turns around. Yeah, because the Eagles were 2-14 as well when he took over back in 99, 2000-ish. 99, yep. So we'll see how it goes. He needs another McNabb, I guess.
I'm rooting for him, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. He's up, you-know-what creek without a paddle.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Here we are sidetracked again. Okay. Somehow we started talking about the Chiefs. We're talking about playoffs.
Look at Joey.
We're talking about playoffs. And all of a sudden, how did the Chiefs come up?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, part of it is the whole postseason coaches fired type of thing.
Oh yeah,
and
Black Monday.
Yes, exactly. I might as well mention, because you are a Bears fan. Yep, you are a Bears fan, and I personally was stunned by the move. How did?
I guess 10-6 record doesn't keep you in the NFL.
That's pretty.
I guess Jerry Glanville was right when he said, "You know what the NFL stands for? Not for long."
Yes, yep, that's perfect.
10-6 record. I don't. They missed the playoffs by 1 game.
Mm-hmm. Even
and if you look back, you could see. Well, hindsight's 20/20. The firing. Who are they going to hire?
Yeah, that's what I'm
going to try to. They're going to try to entice someone from college. Hell no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't leave a cushy college job unless my house was on the line.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not seeking those types of coaches. It would be ridiculous to leave the college ranks for an NFL job now, unless I don't know what they're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
I have been scratching my head since pretty much 2006.
Yeah.
After I like to call Rex Grossman Tom Zach Jr. because he sucked.
Yeah, he did.
But he had a great first part. Anyways, I'm not even going there. Ever since Tom Zach Jr. Threw that punt up in the Super Bowl. But anyways, but Lovie Smith, there's a lot of people that wanted him gone.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the right people wanted him gone. But I think that a 10-6 record gives you another chance to come back. If you look at Tom Coughlin, when was it? Last year, his ass was on the line. He was in the hot seat. The team wasn't doing all that well. All of a sudden, they get hot. Boom, they make the playoffs. They win every road game.
Yep.
Boom, they're in the Super Bowl, and they win it.
They did it again twice.
The same thing that happened 2 years prior to that when they did the inconceivable beating an undefeated team.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get rid of that guy. I mean, but then again, he did win 2 Super Bowls, and Lovey didn't win anything.
Yeah, he got an NFC title, but yeah, that's it, I guess. Just like Andy Reid won one NFC title. Yeah, it's one of those things. Well, it's going to be interesting to see where the Bears go. I was kind of hoping for your sake it would be somebody like Ken Wisenhunt, maybe, but
See, that's another thing with the Bears. They never make the blockbuster signing.
Yeah.
No. Adrian. Let's put it this way: Adrian Peterson could be out there.
Mm-hmm.
They won't sign him. They won't sign him.
No.
No, they won't sign him. Nah. Yeah.
They'll sign Chester Taylor.
Oh yeah, we'll sign Chester Taylor. I thought Chester Taylor was going to work out a little bit better, but
too. What the heck?
I mean, he had a couple of flashes, but I take Chester Taylor again over Cedric Benson.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people probably laugh me out of the building, but I don't. I'm done with that guy. Anytime I see him, let's just say the middle finger pops out at the screen.
Yeah, the guy like.
I'm just so disgruntled with that because he was the highest played player on that 2006 team. Actually, he was second highest. Olin Kreutz was the highest. He made more than Urlacher. He made way more than Devin Hester.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, Devin Hester was like $250,000 or whatever the league minimum was.
Like 435 or something.
Is that what it is?
Something around there. Yeah.
He was making the league minimum, and here's this guy that keeps on, Anyways, that's all behind us now.
Mm-hmm. Luckily, yeah. Yep. So now, I guess that we're ready to bounce back into the postseason.
Let's do it. Let's see how long this lasts.
Yeah,
yes!
5 minutes. That's how he'd say it. But yeah, I mean,
yes.
The Baltimore game. Yeah, I mean, I think the Ravens pretty much. Obviously, the Ravens pretty much controlled the game from the get-go for the most part. The Colts looked promising early. Then you got the fumble from Andrew Luck, and then it's like you just got this vibe like any ounce of momentum the Colts had going into starting out that game just exited the building. I mean, you don't fumble in the first drive on the road against a defense like that. That's pretty much like you're done. Yeah. So that's how things went there. Houston, well, we think we'd rehashed that one enough for the time being. We'll get back into them when we do the previews. So I guess we'll slide over into probably the biggest storyline going in the NFL right now. Seattle, Washington, and no, Seattle versus Washington. Excuse me. I always just that drives me nuts. I don't know why. Yeah.
Okay, so before we start going on this, I want to say it again, like I said a million times. Mm-hmm. Running quarterbacks don't last in the NFL.
Yes.
They're kind of a flash in the pan.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty cool for 6, 7, 8 games if they're lucky, and they always get injured. Look at the entire history
all of them
of running quarterbacks. I mean, even Randall Cunningham, way back.
Yeah.
I mean, he finally got smart.
Became more of a passer, yeah.
He finally got smart.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, he as gifted as RG3 is, he's NFL, not for long, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I give up. If he's going to continue to play like this, he's going to be lucky to see 3 seasons.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's... Ooh, that's scary to think about, even just 3 seasons. But, yeah, I mean, when you consider what the injury was, yes, partially torn ACL, partially torn MCL, and also the pig-headed guy that tried to kill Terrell Davis tried to kill this guy, too, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any. Yeah, it's kind of funny how that linked together, huh?
Yep, it was perfect. I was thinking that the whole time. Like, yes, that's a good segue.
I totally spaced Shanahan being. I don't think Redskins when I think Shanahan ever. Maybe I'm just stuck in the past, old curmudgeon. But I don't think Shanahan when I think Redskins. I'm always thinking Gibbs or something else, not Shanahan, the guy that won 2 Super Bowls in a row for Denver.
Yeah, for me, it's Gibbs all the way. He just fits that, he just fits it so well, and obviously the Super Bowl titles, and he walked into a.
And so,
go ahead.
I wonder if he did push that, because here's the thing: in the NFL, it's kind of hard to tell a professional, this is their job, right? And he says, "I'm good to go," and he's your thing. He's your whole offense depends, your whole team depends on this guy performing for you to win. And that's how it was for the season. I mean, well, it doesn't hurt to have the choking Cowboys.
Yeah.
But anyways, when he says, "Yeah, coach, I'm good to go," I mean, how do you argue? And also with the pressures of the not for long league, if he sets him down, it could be his job. I don't know if he's worried about that or not, but
yeah, you get a lot of complaining
for the longevity of the team. Yeah, you sit the guy, but you know what? If it's not going to happen in this playoff game, it's going to happen during next season. It's going to happen next playoff if you make it. You got to seize the opportunity while it's in front of you. And whereas, I know it sounds like I'm totally justifying, which I guess maybe I am, but the thing is too is that, like, when you go to your job and say, you ask the guy, "Are you good to go for today?" and he says, "Yeah," well, you let him do his job, right?
Yep.
He may be doing it at a slower pace. It's kind of the same thing, how I see it. Obviously, if I was making the decision, I would have taken him out.
Yeah.
But still, he's not. That's the thing. They're a flash in the pan. None of them can stay healthy. Look at Vic. Even back in 2000, was it 2004, 2005? He broke his leg.
Yeah.
It just, they don't last. They don't last. That's why all these option quarterbacks don't amount to anything when they come to the pros, because you cannot stay healthy and run an option and be like in college anymore, because everyone has got 4.4 speed, 4.6 speed, and the sidelines are they're a lot shorter when everyone's fast and big and strong.
Yeah, it's definitely that's definitely the case. They got a lot of these running quarterbacks constantly. The ones that even lower their shoulder at times, like Dante Culpepper used to do. Kind of like.
But at least he had some backing though, because he was a big boy.
He was a big boy. Yep. Unfortunately, go ahead.
He was a big guy, so there was there was, he was writing checks that his butt could cash because he was a big guy. I mean, but I don't consider him a running quarterback though. I'm
not a full blown one.
No, I mean, he did when he had to, but that's what all of them kind of do.
Yeah, except the Marinos. Yeah. But
he's definitely not a running quarterback. That's like Peyton Manning being a running quarterback.
Yeah, talk about.
I think I can run a 40 faster than that guy.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, they need the walker out there, definitely. Oh, but I mean, it's also impressive too to see these two rookie quarterbacks, in the position they were in this game. I mean, that was kind of cool as well to see the Russell Wilson versus Robert Griffin III. In the same playoff game. That's kind of cool. You got Andrew Luck also. You had 3 rookies, 2 second-year guys, or we hoped it was going to be 2. It should have been Ponder, but that didn't work out due to the elbow deal, or shoulder. Huh?
Well, we'll be talking about that in a bit.
Well, 3 seconds. Yep. Yep, Dalton.
Well, yep. Here's the thing, too. Seattle is about ready to be exposed for the team that they... I'm refraining from using cuss words, Joey, because I totally think that this team is a fluke. They play great at home.
Yeah, they do.
They play great. All NFL teams play pretty darn good at home. This team plays great. They got an outstanding record at home, but I just don't think they are who we think they are.
Mm-hmm. Copyright that guy. Yep. Yep. They are who we thought they were.
And I'm going to be saying, after this game with Atlanta, that the Seahawks are who we thought they were. Because they're going to drop this next game, and I don't even think it's going to be close. I don't... It's amazing to think that the team won 11 games, right?
Yeah.
They went 11-5. Can't... I mean, then once again... look at the division they play in, but I think the Rams are coming up.
Yeah.
But anyways, I can't. I mean, they played the Redskins.
Yep.
And take that for what it's worth. Rookie quarterback, basically been a rebuilding team for. Geez, I don't even know.
Seems like
forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for forever. Are they finally putting it together?
Yeah. Or
the teams in front of them dropping the ball? I still think the Giants and possibly the Cowboys were the better teams, as far as player-wise. Obviously not record-wise, but anyways, I don't see Seattle going. They're going to win one, and now they're going to be done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I got to, yep, and I'll save mine for the predictions in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I've got a sneaky feeling about them a little bit, but at the same time, I can totally see where you're coming from. I mean, they're, excuse me, they definitely have fluke written on them. Of course, one of their wins was that Packer game. Excuse me, that was a touchdown. Everybody, everybody that hates the Packers agrees with that the Packers did score a touchdown on that last play. But just one of those things. And, of course, the coach of the Seattle Seahawks, dare we even say his name, is a guy that's hard to root for as well for multiple reasons. Very obnoxious guy, Pete Carroll. But, well, I guess everybody...
you love you some Pete Carroll, don't you?
Not me. Oh, no.
Weren't you a fan way back in the USC days?
Maybe a little bit. A little bit, right? I suppose you'd almost have to be. Yeah, in a way, because they did pretty well. They did pretty well, there's no doubt. So to kind of still bounce around a bit, probably not much more to add to this one. I'll just roll out the scores here, because I'm not sure I even actually said them straight out, unfortunately. So, of course, the Seattle defeats Washington 24-14. The Redskins scored 14 points very early in the game. That way, they led 14-0. I kind of had a feeling like, well, Seattle's already getting exposed as a fluke, and Washington at home is a scary place for a lot of teams. I would have to say, like you said, a lot of teams in the not for long league tend to win their home games, and especially in the postseason. Not always, but the postseason is winning in Washington is not the easiest thing ever, but Seattle was able to come back and get that one done, per se. And, of course, the quarterback situation, as we know, a hurt guy became a severely injured guy, and a Seattle player also was injured badly as well in that game. I guess the turf there is not good at all, according to lots of sources, we'll say. Baltimore defeated Indianapolis 24-9. When I was very similar to well, no, it wasn't. I won't even go there. I was going to say it was similar to the Vikings Packers, but no, luck is better than any quarterback that was playing for the Vikings. I mean, might as well Chris Cluey, the punter, in there with some points for Minnesota. But, it was a 24-9 win for Baltimore. Houston defeated Cincinnati 19-13 in a fairly competitive game. Cincinnati just unable to finish the job. Houston's defense just too good. So now, our feature presentation.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yes!
Or no.
What's it?
Or no.
Or no, yep. No! Yep, this was, it was supposed to be the feature presentation, and that's why you would have a game on Saturday night in prime time in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We thought this was going to be the deal, but a few hours before the game, it's like, oh, by the way, about that, the Vikings said, oh, by the way, Ponder's not playing. Yeah, that whole elbow thing that we were not really talking about all week. We were, it's just a little sore. It's not anything of a big deal. Oh, by the way, Ponder's not playing. Webb's in. It's like, what? Yeah, that took a lot.
I was totally shocked by that.
Yeah,
totally shocked.
I mean, I was completely stunned. It's like I'm the host of the podcast for this team, and not the official one, of course, because there's this is called independent media, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
Oh, they probably don't even have an official one because the NFL's such in the dark ages when it comes to new media.
Which is kind of funny when you think about it. You'd think they would be, you think they would be the standard, but apparently not, huh? Especially with lots of their channels. Most of their channels are 720 still. Fox is 720, ESPN is 720. It's like rock and roll.
Yeah.
720. Wow. Anyhow, yeah, this the opening drive looked awesome. It really did. It's like, hey, here we go. We're gonna change. We have a different game plan because we have the running quarterback, in the not for long league. But hopefully we can get at least one win in this postseason with Webb running through these guys. He's defeated Philadelphia on the road before. He almost beat Detroit on the road last year when Detroit was relevant. They're not, apparently, this year. It looked good. But then we wound up with only a field goal because we got snuffed in the goal line, or in the red zone, we'll say. And that was all she wrote. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. I mean,
here's the thing, too, though, if they win, if they win, who looks like the genius for putting the running quarterback in versus the pocket passer,
Yeah.
And I thought for a second it was a ballsy move. Man, they're just going to switch it up right in the playoffs? Man, that's kind of crazy, but hey, it might work, because conditions and, it's always cold in Green Bay like that, and maybe switching it up is gonna help out. Wrong.
No. Well, and
wrong.
Yeah, and ultimately that elbow was so bad he couldn't even throw beyond 10 yards. And yeah, I was definitely wrong, by the way, too.
Yeah, he must have, they must have pulled the old Bill Belichick thing out where they, it's a little tender, it's just a stinger, it's not bad.
Yeah.
So. But Green Bay obviously wasn't surprised. And in fact, one of the announcers said that they had prepared to see Webb anyways as a possibility.
They thought it could happen, yeah. And it's I guess, good on them for that. And the other thing, too, ultimately, and by the way, there's a picture on the Facebook page, or the Purple Mafia Facebook page. I mentioned it in the previous segment. Yeah, the picture of Ponder's elbow or shoulder looks like something you'd find at the grocery store. It looks like pork.
So what are they saying? Is it like tendonitis, or is there a ligament? Is he going to have Tommy John surgery? Or
it actually was a hit, a massive it's a massive bruise. A Green Bay defender hit him really hard late in the previous week. The
dirty bastards.
Yeah, basically. They went New Orleans Saints on him a little bit, and he had the purple arm or purple shoulder, you could say, and that was it for him, unfortunately. He probably would have been able to play if somehow we survived to the next round, or say if this was a regular season, game. He probably would have been able to play the next week, but it just happened at the wrong place, wrong time. And yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is.
And but too, you got to be thinking about this whole season as kind of like a surprise, because everyone was full on thinking, well, we're going to have another crappy year, but maybe the following year is going to be better. We'll, pick someone up, or, maybe we'll get a surprise draft. But it didn't. It didn't, and they disproved all the haters or the non-believers. I was totally shocked. I'm like, wow, they got a shot. They got a shot all throughout the season. I'm like, they got a shot, man. They're hanging around. Yep. And they put it together, and they made the playoffs. And man, that is an accomplishment, I think, for this team.
Yeah, it really is, and it's the old cliche, the tired cliche of, oh, they're not mathematically out of it yet, and they pulled it out. Yeah, when they were 6-6, it's like, season's over, we're done. No, they made it. And the sad part is, if Ponder was healthy, maybe, just maybe, it just leaves you with that question. Now, could they have pulled off something? Probably not. But the fact that the Vikings did keep the Packers at 24 does make you wonder a little bit. It does a little bit. Green Bay got one touchdown in the third quarter, but outside of that, the defense kept the Packers in check in a nice way. But it seemed like ultimately, though, it's kind of like it's a seesaw where, yeah, we kept under 24, but then you look at when you actually did watch the game, you notice every single third down, no matter what it was, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 19, 3rd and 1, 4th and 3. Aaron Rodgers throws the ball, it's caught. I mean, there just was not enough man-to-man defense on these receivers whatsoever. They were playing like a prevent-style defense the whole time, and if they weren't, they just were getting beat over and over.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, it's like you don't even know what to say. It's just it happened.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. And much as I hate Aaron Rodgers, just the look in his eye, you could tell he's one of the cockiest players ever to suit up in the NFL. But just in my opinion, there we go. There, I'll just leave it to my opinion. But yeah, I'm not sure how you feel about him about that. Do you think so too?
Well, I generally have a disgust for all Packer players.
Yes. Yep.
For the most part,
yep.
Aaron Rodgers is a little bit harder since he was, a great quarterback for the Cal Bears.
Yep. Yeah.
And I used to root for them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, you do have that going for you.
It's funny how stuff happens, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Aaron Rodgers so badly wanted to be a 49er. He's been a 49er fan all of his life. He gets snubbed in the draft. They choose Alex Smith. And look at him now, you know?
Yeah,
look at him now. But, you know, he's a Packer, so I have to hate him, right?
Yeah. That's the good part about Vikings and Bears. You can hate the Packers either way. Yep. Old school, old bitter rivalries that'll last a lifetime. But, yeah, I mean, just even imagining Aaron Rodgers as a San Francisco 49er right now, yeah, they would be the favorite.
Yeah, that would be savagely, yeah, that would be like Montana.
Yes. Yes.
Montana to Crabtree or Rodgers to Crabtree.
Mm-hmm. And if they could get like some better receiver who is not Randy Moss, by the way, that guy's, yeah, he's done, by the way.
He's more moral support anyways on that team.
Yeah. But it's just like, it would be, even if they had like a halfway decent receiver, like, I won't even, well, like a Jennings, like at this age, maybe, like a veteran version of Jennings right now. Yeah, that's the 80s Niners back at it again. It really is in terms of rings and ring potential. We'll call it. That's a deadly team. And so I mean, I agree that obviously the guy is a stud, Aaron Rodgers. Just as much as I don't know if it's the look in his eye or what, but it bugs me. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I look at it too much and not pay attention to the actual football play, but then again, yeah, the football play is devastating as well for Viking fans because every time he throws the ball, it's a first down. Every time. Like, can we ever knock a pass down, please? Oh, boy. But it's the story of the Vikings against the Packers pretty much for a while, since Rodgers got there, and Favre. So yes, it was basically, and the biggest key to this whole game, though, I have to mention, is the biggest frustration for everybody, like a local media bringing it up, of course, is, yeah, okay, Christian Ponder can't play. Joe Webb is a completely different type of player, and the game plan doesn't change one iota when you bring in a running quarterback, but you don't really design the plays for a running quarterback. You design the plays for a Christian Ponder type of, sets. And that is another reason the Vikings lost. Obviously, the other reason is Joe Webb did not throw a single pass the entire season. You bring a guy in cold on the road like that, yikes.
Yeah. Like I said, I was just shocked. I was like, I didn't even know that Ponder was even a possibility of being out for this game. But
yeah.
okay.
He must have been like, wait, what?
Exactly.
14 who? That didn't make any sense, did it? No, at the time, probably. Yeah, I mean, and it's just because yeah, like if you're not like if it's not like the home team per se, you might not get that news right then and there until like the game's starting because it was so sudden. Yeah, that was. There's so many factors into why the Vikings lost. Obviously, like I said, the coaching scheme, Webb just isn't that good. Blah blah blah, and the Packers are that good, I guess. And other people would tell you, and I kind of agree, but not completely. That's partially the reason the Packers only got 24 points is they took the foot off the pedal a bit because they needed to. They didn't need to thrash us with 48 points or anything when they got another game next week against a team that beat them already. Ooh, yep.
Yeah, I think they're going to do it again. By the way, no, I can't root it. Well, first I'd be rooting against my Super Bowl winning pick, and second off, it's the Packers. I can't. That last game, Vikings-Packers, it was really kind of hard to say. I kind of hope the Packers win so the Bears make it in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I almost could. I was like, no, if the Vikings win, that's good for them. I mean, make it in the playoffs. But it was like a double-edged sword. I was like, I just couldn't bring myself to root for the Packers.
Yeah.
I just kind of kept tabs on the game. I didn't really watch it. Really, the whole game. I was on Red Zone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's sometimes that's just the Red Zone's more fun to watch anyway, right?
Oh yeah,
when out of town game.
Yeah, when you're trying to keep up with your fantasy football and stuff too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the ultimate fantasy football channel. Yep, for Verizon customers. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, you could get it with your phone too, which I had this year for just $5 a month if you're a Verizon customer. Look at me, I'm sounding like an ad there, but where are you, Verizon? Come on now, Purple Mafia show. Hello.
Lucky,
right?
Lucky you. Verizon doesn't even work in my area.
Really?
So yeah, I mean, it'll kind of work. It'll kind of work a little bit down the road.
Yeah.
But I can't get service at my house.
Weird.
And anywhere else I go, I won't be able to get service, like neighboring towns.
Mm-hmm.
It's real hit and miss with Verizon, unfortunately. But I'm an AT&T-er, that's why.
Mm-hmm.
That's what works. But anyways, hopefully the NFL gets out of their exclusive deals here shortly and offers some kind of a la carte thing online, which would be great because then I could turn cable off.
Mm-hmm. It could happen someday. We'll see what happens at that.
Well, MLB's got it, and so does NBA.
Yeah, they do. What am I? Yeah, because I have League Pass as well. Yep,
and the NHL was the one that started the whole thing, and then MLB jumped on ship. It's like, okay, well, come on, NFL, you're going to be the last ones.
Yeah, I gotta get. That's sad, isn't it?
Yeah,
because they're the biggest. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the biggest. They're the ones that stand to make the most money.
Yeah, what are they doing? Yeah, they got to get that mobile app out there. Let's go.
I'll buy it.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Yep, me too.
If I could buy just Bear games or whatever a la carte game I want, $10-$20 a month or whatever, boom, I'm doing it.
Oh yep, see, there you go, NFL. Now you know, because you got to think there's a lot of millions of fans saying the same thing. That's a lot of cash per month.
Heck yeah. And 2K, why don't you make another NFL game, please?
Yeah, when was the last time they made one?
2005, and still is one of the best football games I ever bought.
Why would they stop?
Because they lost the exclusive. They signed an exclusive with EA.
Oh, EA. They're like what am I? Yeah, that's
the Madden.
Oh yeah, of course. Yep.
So the Madden games, they're exclusive NFL.
Shame on them. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways.
Yep. No, it's all right. Yeah, just that's fun information for the listeners. It is, yeah. It is though. It is. It is in a fun way and in a joking way too, but no, in a good way. But Baltimore, I guess we'll start in the AFC since we're NFC officially. We'll conclude with Green Bay, San Francisco. That's got to be the game of the week for me.
I'm saying that is going to be your winner of the Super Bowl.
Ooh,
right there.
Nice. That's the Super Bowl right there. Yeah,
I think those are the two best teams in the NFL right now. It hurts to say that.
Yeah,
it really hurts to say that, but I really think that's the truth. I mean, Green Bay is probably more conditioned to play this game because they play way tougher, opponents. But the records show 2-10-6 teams, and and they win it, and they won it pretty, fairly early. So I think that's going to be the winner of the Super Bowl, and I'm really crossing my fingers. And now this really pains me too because I am not a 49er fan. I may live in somewhat of that area, but I am not a 49er fan. So this is like the two teams that I dislike the most playing against one another. So you have to shut that part of your brain off, and I'm picking the 49ers to win.
Well, yeah, for me, that'd have to be Dallas and Green Bay if that happened. But yeah, last year, it was the same thing for me where I actually said Green Bay and New York was the winner of the Super Bowl, and it was right.
Bada bing.
Yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed. I mean, and I was like, New York has a legit chance to win this game, but I can't pick them just because Green Bay was that good. It was one of those type of deals, and then New York won. Yeah, they pulled it out. It's like New York can win because they're the Giants. They're that team. They're the team that wins no matter where they play when they make the playoffs. So, except when they were 13-3 for some really strange reason in 2008. But yeah. So, like as I mentioned, we'll start in the AFC. Yep. Start in the AFC.
I already blew it, didn't I?
No, it's okay. No, it's okay because we could still get into deeper detail. It's okay because it's that exciting of a game that you do kind of once you start it's like the Pringles. Once you start, you can't stop. So Baltimore, Denver, I think is really good as well. Honestly.
Yeah. What's funny is I just thought of the Colts when you said
Yep. It sounds good. Yeah.
It's supposed to be. Yeah, I know that you're going to be picking the Ravens because that's the team that you picked. I mean, you can't roll back on it, right?
From the beginning of the year, yeah.
I'm going to go with you because I like that defense, man. I like Baltimore's defense, and I'm not much of a Bronco fan. Peyton Manning is only one guy, and maybe that'll get exposed a little bit.
It could be, yeah. And I'm for Baltimore's sake, I hope so in that sense. But like going into the playoffs, my little playoff prediction, especially when I thought that Ray Lewis wasn't going to play, I actually picked Denver. I actually picked Denver to win the AFC. Can you believe that? But with Ray Lewis back, I guess I'm going to have to go with Baltimore. The fact that their defense on the road, I mean that they've been as good as they have been on the road in the Joe Flacco era. I guess I will go with Baltimore. I'm going berserk here.
I think, too, they're going to be riding somewhat of an emotional high. I mean, last game they were because, Ray Lewis comes back. He's pretty much the heart and soul of that defense and pretty much the team. And so I think that they're going to be riding that emotional high again. It's not going to be well received in Denver, but who really cares, right?
Yeah.
But I think that the team is going to play just that little tiny bit harder that's going to give them the edge. Riding the emotional high. You can't, that's like the X factor for a lot of these teams because like we were saying before, all these teams are good. There's like really not weaknesses. I mean, everyone runs 4.5, 4.6, 4.7. Everyone's fast, everyone's big, everyone's strong. So sometimes there's that little edge, and I think that little emotional edge is going to give Baltimore a victory in Denver.
Yeah, I agree. I think the emotional edge, the past experience. Obviously, Peyton Manning has experience, but most of the Broncos do not. So it's one of those things, I mean, they made the playoffs last year and made a cute little run with but they were 8-8, and it was kind of John Fox has a ton of experience, so that's another good thing you could say for Denver. But so does Mr. John Harbaugh. Will we have the Harbaugh Bowl? Will we? That'd be cool.
That actually would be decent,
wouldn't it?
But who would win the MVP? Because there wouldn't be a Manning in there, so that's not a sure lock. Could you give a coach the MVP? I don't know.
Yes, Jim Harbaugh, definitely. Because he probably uses more energy in some of those games than half the team, honestly. Especially if there's a few bad calls in there. You know?
He's known for violently shaking other coaches' hands.
Oh, I love that. Or slapping him on the back a little too hard, or freaking.
Oh, jeez.
Well, the season opener, Green Bay, San Francisco. I was cracking up so much. I was laughing so hard when I forget there was some type of call where one of the 49ers removed their helmet somehow, like it flew off or something. And they called the guy for removing the helmet, and it gave Green Bay a first down when it should have been fourth, and Harbaugh was flipping out, going berserk. It was so fun to watch.
He was so pissed he almost shook the ref's hand.
Yeah, that'd have been funny. Good call, slap. No. Oh, that guy's a nut, isn't he? He is a nut, and he played for those Colts. Okay, sorry.
That's not all that he played for either.
Yep.
Anyways.
Yep. Old memory lane with that team. Yes.
I'm not going to get all sidetracked, but why is it that Bears quarterbacks, when they leave Chicago, they turn out to be good?
Isn't it?
I mean,
it
happens all the time. Every time. Doug Flutie, Harbaugh. I mean, I could probably just, if I had like a list in front of me, I'm sure. Tom Zach actually played better as a Steeler than he ever did as a Bear.
Yeah, he did. It's like I was thinking him as a Steeler.
Let me tell you a tiny little thing. Back in the schoolyard days where you're playing football in the street or whatever. I used to do this thing stupid. I used to cover my eyes and say Tom Zach and just throw the ball.
Oh wow, that's funny. Because that's how because you figured.
Jeez, that's what it felt like watching him play. But anyways,
that's funny.
All right. Now that we're totally derailed.
Yeah. So now we'll slide to New England and Houston. The Houston Texans visit the New England Patriots.
Houston Texans.
Oh, I wish they could. Go ahead.
The Patriots. Once again, one of those teams that are they ever going to have a losing year? Are they ever? Are they ever going to have more than 1 year of missing the playoffs ever?
No, I guess not. Not as long as Tom Brady's a quarterback. Belichick's coach.
Yeah, they just have the knack for making the right moves. I mean, Danny Woodhead wasn't going to work out anywhere else.
No.
But guess where he works out?
New England.
Exactly. But, watching the Hard Knocks and all that stuff, that guy would never, if the ball was thrown at him and it hit him in the hands, he caught it. He never really fumbled the ball. It's like, and you can't find a spot on your roster for this guy, you're going to cut him? So the Patriots probably did their scouting through Hard Knocks. Was like, hell yeah, we'll take this guy. He'll be like Kevin Falk Jr., a role-playing guy that we really can use. First and second down situations, maybe some third down situations. Be a situational running back, and they just have the knack for plugging in the correct personnel. But, but I got to go with my Super Bowl pick still. Not because I'm bound by it.
No,
it's just I think that this defense and Sackmaster Watt there is going to be in Brady's face. That guy is just amazing. If he doesn't get a sack, he's going to knock down the pass. I mean, that guy is he's got to be the defensive player of the year. I mean, I don't know how else. I mean, that guy is like a game changer.
J.J. Watt?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's incredible, isn't he? What did he have? Like 20 How many sacks did he have?
I know he came close. I know that he came close.
Yeah, he was
but
right
did,
there. Yeah.
I don't think he got it, but I know that he came close. But if you got like a tenth of a sack or like a fifth of a sack for knocking down the ball, he would have got it for sure.
Yeah, really.
Because it's like that guy's always in on the play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he has been an amazing story this year. What is this? It's only like his second year in the league, I believe, too. So it's definitely been a good run. Oh man, excuse me. Trying to find how many sacks he got this year. But ultimately,
I think it was 20.
20 and a half.
But,
there we go.
Yeah.
And 4 forced fumbles as well. That's that's a lot going on.
Is there a stat line for tipped passes?
Passes deflect.
Probably not.
Yeah, PD. Yep, pass deflect. 16.
What has he got, like 10? Oh,
Yeah, he's an animal, isn't he?
Almost double what I just thought.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that guy's always in on the play, and I think he's going to give Brady one heck of a time.
He's definitely going to be the biggest threat, that's for sure. He's going to be the biggest threat for Tom Brady. There's no doubt about it in that game. Gosh, he even got 5 solo tackles in the recent game. And you don't usually think about that with a lineman. You'd more think about with a
with an interior
linebacker,
guy.
Or interior
linebacker.
Especially, he got as many tackles as a linebacker would. So that's how good he is.
He's just all over the field. I mean, the guy is got to be defensive MVP.
Oh yeah. This year, without a doubt, he's Jared Allen. He's the next Jared Allen, probably, or even better. Or better. It took a while to go, actually.
So if I didn't discuss it too well, I'm picking Texans.
What?
Houston Texans. I'm taking 2 road teams in the AFC, man. That's ballsy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and it does happen. I mean, we know what Baltimore can do. They've won 3 road games to get to the NFC, or get to the 2 road games to get to the NFC title game in the past. So I think they did it twice. Yeah. So they're one of those teams that can get it done. Houston, well, in my mind, I don't see Houston winning in New England. In my mind, I see. Yeah, I see the Patriots pulling this one off. I just think they're too good, and I just didn't like the way Houston kind of died off late in the year. Excuse me. And, I mean, I've obviously long been impressed with the New England Patriots. The fact that they had the kind of season they have had after losing the Super Bowl to me, is just insane. Because usually, and what's the old saying with the team that loses the Super Bowl? They usually miss the playoffs or barely sneak in and lose in the first round. It's a curse, when you lose the Super Bowl, but apparently not this time. And the only reason the Patriots didn't make another run at a title back in 2008 is because Brady had an ACL in the season opener. Yeah. Then you had the King of the Castle audition for the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, there I go about that team again. But that's how he earned his $60 million check. Son of a what a thief. Yeah. Oh, what a thief. But I just think the Patriots are too good. And I mean, gosh, seeing Minnesota beat Houston, especially if they're watching this last week, it's insane to me. We beat them in their house. They only got 6 points. Matt Schaub is a guy who's good, but I don't know. He doesn't seem like a championship guy to me. I don't know.
He is kind of an up and down type of, great game, bad game. There's not a whole lot of consistency with him, that's for sure.
Yep, he'd be the perfect Detroit Lions quarterback, I think. He'd put up good numbers, but, when it's the big game, I don't know. Now, obviously, Andre Johnson's a stud, and Arian, now that's driving me nuts. Arian Foster instead of Adrian, Sorry about that. Number 2 running back in the league right now. Awesome season again. He's the biggest threat for me coming in, obviously. But even he didn't do particularly well against the Vikings, though 140 last week against the Bungles. That was an old saying for when they were terrible. Houston does have a lot of weapons, though, in their passing game. There's no doubt. Owen Daniels, Andre Johnson, guys like that. Arian Foster is even capable of making some catches. Heck, he made 8 last week. All short, but still, it still counts for something to get that first down. I even like their kicker, Shane Graham. I always liked him with the Bengals in the past. on fantasy when I used to play, but used to play more often. But yeah, it's gonna be a great game, I think. But I just think the Patriots are ready to roll here. Does that mean they're gonna go all the way? Maybe not. But right now, hey, I just have a good feeling about New England going into this one. So if there's nothing more to add about that particular game, I guess it's up to the
real league.
Yep, the real league. the not as bad conference. Okay, sorry. The non-fall conference. Okay, no, that'd be if they actually weren't good. But Seattle, Atlanta, yeah. Seattle Seahawks head into Atlanta, Georgia, on the midnight train.
On the midnight train to Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, what do you think, Seattle and Atlanta? Sounds like you were on Atlanta's side in a big way.
Yeah, I don't think much of the Seattle Sea Chickens.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone is on my Facebook, you will know that I've got a couple of Seattle fans that I like to razz. In fact, I have some relatives that are Seattle Sea Chicken fans.
Ouch.
And boy, you know what? I've been so nice. Like, there's so many times where I could have just rubbed it in their face and I just left it alone for so many years. And then all of a sudden, they have, one good season where, they have a winning record and go into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Which was not the case last, what was it? Was it last, when was that? Was it last year or the year before? Anyways.
Atlanta? Or...
No. Sea Chickens.
Oh, like the last time they made the playoffs?
Yeah, where they had they had a 7-9 season, wasn't it?
Oh yes. Now I'm remembering. Yeah, that was 2010 maybe, or was it last year? Now I'm screwing up a little bit. Yeah, they did make it. They did. They beat Saints in 2010. Yes, they knocked the Saints. They actually advanced. How crazy is that?
Yeah, that's yeah. Anyway, that's because they had a home game, I believe.
Yeah,
but this time they ain't gonna have no home game. They're going against the best record in the NFC, albeit from the NFC South. And I think not having Peyton around in Saintsville there in New Orleans really hurt them. Even though that's still a really good team without him. Look for that team to win the division next year. But anyways,
yeah, they might.
I'm not seeing it with the Seahawks. I'm not feeling it. They're away. I don't know. They are going to be who we thought they were, or who I thought they were. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. You just watch.
Mm-hmm. And I got the strangest feeling about this one because, man, this one's tougher for me, I guess, because Atlanta's recent playoff record is non-existent. I mean, they've made. I mean, I picked the Giants to take them out last year, and they did. A few years ago, Atlanta had a pretty good season, and they were out in the first round as well. That doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen this year, but I do think the possibility exists, believe it or not. But yeah, Seattle's road record not good. They did win last week on the road in Washington D.C., believe it or not. But again, that's an inexperienced team who's not really ready to make a legit run, right? Yeah. Yeah, up 10-6 watching it. I mean, I was actually stunned they made the playoffs, frankly. Yeah, but because they won every game like the end of the year. That's the only reason they made it. They were 3-6 at one point, and they still made the playoffs. Still kind of my head's still spinning from that one. But Seattle now they're officially on a 6-game win streak after the win last week. Atlanta kind of going in the playoffs slowly, is just like Houston. Not quite as slow though. They've won 3 out of their last 5, which isn't that good for a 13-3 team. Yeah, I think it's going to be close, believe it or not. I'm probably going to be wrong, Probably going to be wrong, but
you never know. I mean, that defense. Okay, I'll have to give the Seahawks a little credit here.
Oh yeah,
the defense has been really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have the fewest points allowed for the entire NFC, and just trying to verify something here quickly. Actually, it is the fewest in the entire league this year. So, stingiest defense in the league. Atlanta has a very strong offense. And they have a pretty stingy defense as well. They're the second best defense in the NFC in points. No, third, excuse me. San Francisco at 273 for the year. San Francisco. Yeah, we're going to get to them very soon. I'm on the fence in this game, and I'm not supposed to be because media is not about the fence.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. I guess just because, Seattle... Rookie quarterback going on the road is probably not going on the road against a much tougher team than Washington. Atlanta probably due to finally win a playoff game. Was it third time's a charm, as they say? I guess Atlanta squeaks out one here by 3 or 4 points, in my opinion. I think it's going to be a fairly close one. Maybe Atlanta pulls away late for 10, but I'll stick with a 4-point victory for the Falcons. I can't believe I'm doing it. No.
I hope it is a game, because...
Yeah, me too.
Because just watched the BCS game, and I actually walked out after the first quarter. I left the room.
Mm-hmm.
Irish were getting their butts whipped so bad, it wasn't even fun to even watch, regardless who you're rooting for.
Yeah. Yep.
I want to see some good games this weekend. I hope. I think that's what we got in store. Some good games.
Yeah.
Winners play off, baby.
Yeah, it should be. It should be good. So we're just gonna have to see where that leads. So that's where we're headed. We got the last game now. Here it goes. San Francisco hosts the Green Bay Packers for the rights to play, I guess, the Atlanta Falcons in the NFC title game. Yeah. So, can the Niners do it again? Can they beat the Packers again? This time at home.
This is like the tale of two different teams. Packers defense is they show up every once in a while.
Yeah.
They're pretty good from time to time. But man, this 49ers defense is a lot better than what statistically they look like. This is probably one of the best defenses in the NFC, which is a superior conference to the AFC. Mm-hmm. Don't care what anyone else says. The NFC is superior.
Yeah.
You just look at how many Super Bowls in this past decade were. Anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, I digress. I'm picking the 49ers.
Yep.
Like I had said before, they're my pick to win the Super Bowl. But my little secondary pick is, if the 49ers for some reason don't win, I guess the Packers are gonna win the Super Bowl.
No.
I can't even believe I'm saying that, but
yeah,
I think this is the real Super Bowl right here.
It very well could be. It very, very, very well could be. And I do agree that about San Francisco's defense. They have a little bit of that. I don't want to say it. I can't. It's not nice. Should I? A little bit of 85 Bears in them, but not really. You're gonna get mad.
Whoa! Now, I said they were good. I didn't say that they were supremely the best of all time.
Yeah, I shouldn't say that. They're like the grandson. They're like the grand.
They're like the 87 Bears, maybe the 84 Bears.
There we go. That's probably actually they're like the 87 Bears. There we go. Or early, I'll say 87 Bears. They're like that team where it's similar to them but not as good. You know what I mean? Similar.
They're almost like the Purple People Eaters.
There you go. Almost. Yes. No. For their sake, they better be, because they got the Aaron Rodgers factor. Of course, I'm sure this is a game Aaron Rodgers wants to win as much as any game he's ever wanted to win in his whole career. Because, like you said, and like we know from history, they passed on him with the first overall pick, and as you mentioned, that was the team he always wanted to play for. He's from California, of course, and yeah, I got to think this is a grudge match for him.
This game is going to truly determine what happens with Kaepernick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
this is going to be the game that's going to kind of be the decider. I think it's either going to make him or break him.
I agree in a huge way because he is really the X factor for the 49ers in so many ways here. I mean, if they're going to win the Super Bowl, it's going to be weird thinking, wow, Kaepernick won a Super Bowl. Wow.
Yeah, especially since he played local football. Well, kind of local.
Yeah.
It's about 45 minutes away. He played for a high school team.
Mm-hmm.
It's somewhat near to me. I never watched him play, at least not knowingly.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're locally. They're like, oh, look, this kid's from just down the street, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Here's pictures of him playing basketball.
Oh wow. Yeah, I mean he to me. I mean, gosh, we barely knew who he was. Just a few weeks ago. It seemed like, or a couple months ago. You'll be more honest. Most of the country will say. But I think, grand scheme of things, they're the better team aside of the quarterback position. They're the better team, I think. And of course, Green Bay's depth in the defense, they've been banged up forever, and a few guys came back last week at the, conveniently against the Vikings. I'm still bitter about that one.
Matthews.
Son of a, yeah.
Thanks for coming back, Matthews.
Yeah, thanks so much. Ugh.
Man, that was my dark horse pick, too, was the Vikings. You can't root against the Packers. But I was like, oh, man, wouldn't that be cool? Like, since my Bears aren't in it, I got nothing invested in this except for whatever I said in the preseason talking about the 49ers.
Yeah.
But, man, I would have loved to see the Vikings defeat the 49ers in the playoffs. I would just be jumping for joy.
Oh, yes. Yeah, too, in so many ways. I would have loved to see the Bears beat the Packers, too, to like 10 or 8 to favor, Honestly, though, yeah. I mean, I'd like the Bears 10 million times more than the Packers.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but and the Niners, too. Huh?
But, yep, I'm going to be rooting against them again this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. I think San Francisco, and I do believe San Francisco is going to win this one. They know how to play the Packers. Believe it or not, they're one of the teams that knows how to beat the Green Bay Packers. And as kind of weird a player as Kaepernick is, Alex Smith was, Alex Smith, he stinks.
He...
In my opinion.
Yeah, he was putting together a halfway decent season this year and then got hurt.
Yeah.
And then they made the switch and then, we're already still... I mean, he wasn't even really injured. He was more like bumps and bruises, and they're like, we're going to stick Kaepernick. I mean, he kicked some butt in the preseason.
Yep.
And it just really goes to show that the most popular guy in town is the backup quarterback, especially for a struggling team.
Yeah, because they were struggling a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and they've been struggling at that position ever since... Oh, Jeff Garcia left.
Yep, literally since him. Yep, and they're a team with a great history at the quarterback position. If there is any team that does, yeah, and they're legendary at the position. But I mean, and and Alex Smith on paper, yeah, he actually was doing pretty well. I guess I still got that Viking game on my head. He was really bad in that game. Like,
you want to talk about inconsistent quarterbacks? He's
Smith,
one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. He's the guy who, you don't want him to just let you down in a big game like this. Like, I actually thought this was going to be the NFC title game, so there you go. There's your, at the beginning of the season, there's your whole deal about this is the actual Super Bowl.
I think so.
Yeah.
This is the game to watch of the year.
Mm-hmm. I think it could be, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, it's another Saturday night one, isn't it? Wow. Yep. It's like, sorry, fiance, can't see you tonight. Nah, it's like, no, not unless the TV's on. Oh man.
What's funny is I think I'm working that night, so I'm gonna have to find an internet stream, an illegal one. Thank you, NFL. I would pay for it, but I guess I'm gonna have to find an illegal stream of it.
Oh, that's funny. And it's, yeah, I guess that's the way it's going to have to be. And that's what they get.
Yeah.
That's what they get because you
just missed out money. You just missed out on money.
Yeah. It's like, listen to what he just said, NFL. Listen to what he just said. He would have paid for it. Yeah. But you told him that we don't want your money. Yeah. Oh, good on you, NFL. Good on you.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Like, dare we super briefly make a little bracket, or should we save that for maybe the future? Maybe you'd want to rejoin next week, huh?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, you could if you want to.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it's kind of it would be just straight up playoffs. Like, I wouldn't have to talk as much Vikings this time.
Yeah, maybe we'll leave Jerry Glanville out of our conversation, right?
Mm-hmm. And then off to the NFC title and AFC title games we go. Yeah. Somebody's headed there. San Francisco, thank you very much. Yep, Baltimore. Yes, let's go Harbaugh Bowl. That's what I'm kind of, actually, I'm a huge Patriots fan, so, second to the Vikings, so I guess maybe I shouldn't say that. But I kind of quietly like the Baltimore Ravens, too, if you hadn't noticed over the last, 5 years now. Yeah, on every year.
Well, I think the Flacco poster on the wall back there gives it away. No.
Oh, the invisible one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, so I guess that's where we stand. Green, you have San Francisco, I have San Francisco. I guess we both have Atlanta beating Seattle. I was going to pick Seattle, partially to be devil's advocate and partially because I don't think Atlanta's, that great. I guess the one we disagree is New England and Houston. We got the Patriots, you have the Texans.
Yep.
And we both have Baltimore taking out Broncos. No.
Yeah, I don't think too much of the Broncos, I just don't.
Yeah, who? No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They finished really strong, but boy, wouldn't that be something to see an 11-game win streak just go up in smoke in one game like that? But I guess that's how it always ends.
That's how it always happens with Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, how many years did he do that with Indianapolis?
Mm-hmm.
They kill it. They crush it.
Mm-hmm.
They got 15 wins or 14 wins, 13 wins, 10 in a row, rolling in the playoffs. And drop it. First freaking game.
Yeah. Yep. And a lot of times it was either to Patriot. Yeah, a lot of times it was the Patriots back when they were winning the title. And boy, did I enjoy every one of those games. That was awesome. Peyton Manning with that shocked kind of LeBron James look on his face, what?
Wait till next year.
Yeah.
Wait till next year.
Yep. Just like the Cubs show. Yep, wait till next year.
Look for that dumbfounded look on his face on the sidelines again this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Courtesy of the Baltimore Ravens.
Ray Lewis, yep. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Second round is always better than the first round. You get high quality football. It's gonna be awesome.
Can't wait.
Yeah, for sure. So with that, shall we wrap up this episode?
Yes.
With a couple of quick contact details. I already mentioned the Facebook and the Twitter accounts, but I'll just say real quick: Facebook.com/Purple Mafia Show, and at Purple Mafia Show for the Twitter account. Don't forget the phone lines: 209-736-7877. Boy, I almost blanked there, but I know that number by heart. And let's give out Dylan Richardson's Twitter. Yes. Huh?
It's just at my name, DYLANRICHARDSON.
There you go. Welcome on board. Give Dylan Richardson a follow. That would be terrific. Yay. Give him so he's got to have that verified check mark next to his name with those 1.2 million followers. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be nice, huh?
Oh man, that would be ridiculous.
It'd be crazy.
That'd be celebrity status there.
Yes. You're like, wait a minute, the blue check mark. Hey, this is pretty cool.
What is this?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I wonder if somebody will invent one just to put it on their page for fun. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah. But also, of course, Purple Mafia available on thesportstuff.com. and on iTunes. But always do check out thesportstuff.com. You got the crossover podcast. You got it like that. And Timberwolves Explosion. And now which is doing it very well, just like the crossover. Brave the Wild's going to finally make a return sometime very soon here because hockey still exists. So all three of you can listen to that show. No, I'm kidding. Yep. Yeah.
Well, anything hockey is a labor of love, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yep. Yes, it is. That's definitely my smallest show, but I still love it.
I'll tell you what, though, Joey really loves hockey.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Loves hockey. Brave the Wild. Check it out.
Mm-hmm. It's thesportstuff.com and on iTunes. And, of course, this man right here, Dylan Richardson, is the executive producer and founder of thesportstuff.com.
Yay.
Yes, sir. All right. So, any closing comments?
That's about it. Go NFC.
Go NFC and go Niners. Yes. Crush the Green Bay Packers.
I am so not saying go Niners.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a second. I just did. What?
No. Yeah, that'd be like me saying go Cowboys. Like, and sorry about that. Final shout out to Jim Towers out there. Yes. Yep, the Cowboys from Hell podcast back in the day. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Bring it back. Bring it. We could use it. All right. But, yeah, thanks again, everyone. And we'll be back next week. And, again, go Niners. So we're alive and well, supposedly.
Yes!
Yes!
Yes! Is it working? Yes! I'm out of Chicago. Okay.
That could be a good drop right there.
You like it?
Yes! Yes!
Ooh, I should throw that in. Yes, yep, I gotta get that as a soundbite now for sure. Yep. Did they win yesterday?
Yes!
I love that. That would be so fun. Yeah, I gotta do that. Yeah, more ways to get the audience chuckling. You know, that's the whole idea. You know?
Yes! Yes!
Can't even do it.
Jordan, right? Oh, I love that. Yep. All right, so you're ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right, and where's this thing? Hope I won't be cussed.